So this is another episode of Totally Detailed, and we have Faruk Prnjavorac here from Insanity Detailing Norway. I hope I got your surname right. It's a difficult one to say.
It is difficult. That was very good.
All right, excellent, good. That's a good start. So how are you keeping?
I'm good. I'm good. I just had my dinner, so I'm full, and I'm having my evening coffee.
Yep.
So that's good.
Excellent. Yeah. I've just finished dinner as well, so it was all very good timing and on the water. So yeah.
Water instead of coffee. What kind of detailer are you?
Oh, I know. Yeah. Trouble is, if I drink coffee in the morning, if I drink coffee in the afternoon, I'll never sleep.
Oh yeah.
Last night we had it was our accountant's 50th birthday, so it was all a surprise for us. So we were there, and I had a coffee before we left at sort of like 10 o'clock at night. I couldn't get to sleep, and I woke up at like 2:30, 3 o'clock, and that was it. It was just
Oh no! Oh, the entire day is ruined.
Yeah. Whereas I used to drink coffee all the time, but I stopped back in November 2 years ago. And just cut out coffee, cut out tea, and just went to 1 cup of coffee and one cup of tea a day in the morning, and cut out coffee completely. And it was surprising how much better I slept. But
I bet. But how was that transition though? Going away from coffee? Oh, are you serious?
Yeah. I was good because I just drank water. The transition going from it was really cool. So, but I was drinking quite a lot. I was drinking like 30 cups of coffee and tea a day. So I was drinking a hell of a lot.
That's worse than me though.
So I just cut the whole lot out. Went down to 1 cup of tea a day in the morning. Stopped drinking coffee, and then I started drinking coffee again. But when I do it, I'll only have like 1 or 2 cups a day. Yeah. When I do drink it, but I'll go for like a week or two without having any. And then when we come over, we're obviously over in Finland in a couple of weeks' time, running more courses. When I'm in Finland, I'll drink coffee all day because that's basically all they have. But I'll drink coffee all day and I'll get used to it. It'll be fine. As long as I can have like a water in between, I'll be all right. Or else I never sleep. Coffee keeps me going. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
It definitely keeps me going. But yeah, no, it was all right. I came off it. It was good. I actually lost weight, to be fair, which is the whole idea of it, and lost nearly 2 stone in weight. So yeah, it was quite good.
Oh, nice. From just this coffee and the tea?
Just cutting out all the coffee, and I just cut out all the junk food, like some just sweets and chocolate. I just went round, just ate like chicken and stuff like that. Yeah, that was it. And just literally chicken, cut out bread, anything like dairy products, stopped eating. I used to drink like a couple of pints of milk a day, cut out milk.
Yeah.
Just stopped everything like that and just literally had chicken and vegetables roasted, and that was it. And just had that every day, and I literally lost a couple of stone. I lost a stone within like a few weeks, very, very rapid. And then I'd gone down from, I was like nearly 13 stone, and I'd gone down to 10, 12. And then I put a little bit more weight back on again. I went right back up to 11, 12 again. And now I'm back down to about 11.5. So yeah, I'm back again. But it keeps going up and down. I'll weigh myself in the morning, and like tomorrow I'll probably weigh myself. Like this morning I was 11.5. Tomorrow I'll weigh myself and I'll probably be 11.9 again. And it's like, where the hell's 4 pounds come from?
Yeah, it will fluctuate a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. So, but yeah, it's you almost think, oh my God, I put another 4 pounds on overnight while I'm sleeping. What was I doing? So yeah, really weird.
Sleep eating?
Yeah, sleep eating. Yeah, I used to do that though. If I drank a lot of coffee, I'd get up in the middle of the night at like 2 o'clock in the morning, come downstairs and eat a snack. That was the problem.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I used to eat a snack, and I'd then wake up at 4 o'clock and I'd come down and eat a chocolate bar, and it's like, this is ridiculous. And that's where obviously all the weight came on. So I was going back to sleep, and of course I was just sat there with all this chocolate or whatever inside my body, and it was just accumulating to fat. So yeah, it's
yeah. But I mean, you think of the thing that, you want to treat yourself because you had a hard day at work.
Yeah, exactly.
And it keeps, and then you treat yourself every day, and there's nothing to look forward to, and at the end of the week. So I'm a big sinner there. Chocolate is a second language, I think. So chocolate and crisps, obviously. Yeah.
Terrible. So what I do now is I buy like a big like I'm trying to think of the name of it now. Big triangle thing. I can't think of the name of it.
Toblerones?
Toblerone, that's the one. Yeah, I couldn't name that. I love Toblerone. So what I do, yes. I break a triangle off and have that on one triangle a night, and that's it.
Yeah.
Triangle a night. And then the odd occasion I'll be like, that was so good. I'll just have one more before I go to bed, and then go to bed. I'm like, I really should have done
that. Yeah.
Terrible, but yeah, it's so I try to limit myself to one triangle. Like I didn't have one last night, so I'm all right. So I can have one tonight.
So,
yeah. So.
You don't do the thing where you don't have one for 3 days and then you have 4 the 4th day.
I maybe go like 2 or 3 days without having it, and then I might have like 2 or 3. I'm thinking that's okay. Yes. That's just the same as the others.
Making up for lost process.
Yeah, I'm making up for lost triangles. So yeah, and then of course I start eating, and it's like, oh, this is so good. I'm just going to eat the whole bar now. That's the problem.
Oof, yeah,
it's very addictive. It's chocolate's got something in it. It's so addictive. It's unbelievable.
It's so good though.
Oh, it is. Yeah, don't tell me, because I'll end up eating 2 or 3. Right.
I know what to send you now.
I know exactly. Send me pictures of you, chocolate. Yeah. I know, terrible. Yeah, it is good. It's yeah. But I haven't eaten crisps. That's quite good for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
I had some in America, so that was okay. But we used to buy crisps all the time here in England, and we've just stopped eating them. And it's amazing how. But I was very big on eating crisps. I'd eat like 4 packets a day. That was the problem.
But the tiny ones, right?
Yeah. Small, tiny ones, not the big packs.
No.
And it was like that, and then chocolate, and it's like, oh my God. And I just literally cut it all out, thinking I'd miss it all, and I didn't. The only thing I miss is chocolate. It's just, it's just something about chocolate. The trouble is, once you start eating it, you can't stop until the bar's gone.
Oh, I know all too well.
It's terrible. It's terrible. And then Caroline's like, where did the chocolate bar go?
Yep. I know about that.
I don't know. Have you eaten it all? Yeah.
I couldn't have.
You're going to regret it, aren't you? I'm like, probably, yeah. And I'm like, we'll have to go to the shop and buy some more. No, you're not.
No, because that's going to disappear too.
Yeah, I know, exactly. It will. It'll definitely disappear. So, yeah, definitely. So, obviously, with the podcast, you're obviously the president of the IDA Norway. I've got to put obviously Norway in, or else everybody will be thinking I've gone crazy that I'm calling you president of the IDA. So, president of the IDA chapter in Norway.
Yeah.
What made you sort of do that? What made you get involved with becoming did you set it up, or was it something that you were voted in, or how did you get about becoming the president there for that?
No, actually, IDA started up, the Norwegian chapter started up back in 2017, I think. And we had the second Rupes Bigfoot seminar here in Norway. Yeah. So that's where I heard about it. Jason Rose spoke about it, and then the time passed, nothing really happened with it. And then in 2019 we were down in Italy for the Rupes advanced trainer session with the Rupes importer in Norway, Holgers, and Jason Rose came on quickly on like a web call.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is we like literally talked about it at the airport and on the plane about how IDA wasn't really going anywhere in Norway. Yep. And Jason sort of just asked, like, if anyone wants to pick up that ball, now's your chance. So I sat there with the five other contestants on the training, and we talked about it, and we quickly made like a makeshift board. Yes. And we came up and then tried to kickstart the Norwegian chapter again, and it was all going pretty okay until COVID hit, obviously. So the meet and greet stopped, the CDSV stopped, so on and so forth. But IDA for me is sharing of knowledge and sharing of pretty much everything, detailing.
Yes.
Like everything from customers. I know that I can send, if I don't have time to take care of a customer and he's pressed for time, I can send him over to an IDA certified detailer, because obviously I know that they've got their stuff together and they know what they're doing.
Yep.
So that's why IDA is like a heart child of mine, pretty much. But as for how I became the president, that was just a huge chance, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, very good. Yeah, it is. I mean, I love the IDA because it's about sharing that information and meeting people and stuff. And I mean, it's very good. I mean, and that's what it is. It's about that knowledge that you can gain from other people as well.
Yes.
And that people are prepared to sort of open up and share that information with you and help you, and that's what it's all about. And there's always people there, to sort of help with it. And it's one of the reasons why we joined the wellness committee. And we went on there because obviously mental health is quite close to my heart. So, I mean, we went on there anyway, and joined that as one of the sort of founding people on there, with the wellness committee, which is now getting going and building traction, and it's really good. And it's obviously, everybody's in America apart from myself, but I think I'm the only person that's overseas, on the committee, which is really cool. So, I enjoy it. I'm obviously on committees in the UK as well, but it's really good. I enjoy it, and it's good. And it's just the people you meet. It's just, you don't get any of this thing that you do on a lot of forums on social media where everybody knows everything. And you get a lot of people where someone will come on and ask a question and they just get shot down.
Yeah.
For no reason whatsoever.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing is, you could be destroying that person's livelihood.
Yeah.
They could be wanting to start a business, and it's about helping people, and that's what I love to do. And it's like, we reach out to people. I had it today with somebody where we offered to reach out to somebody, and it's just one of those things, and it's just, it costs nothing to be nice to people.
No.
And it's just a bit of my time if they do come forward and say, yes, we'll take you up on that. It's like we did it with a detailer recently where he'd been belittled on social media, where they were trying to take the mickey out of his company, his machine polishing skills. I've never been trained with, root stuff. Everything I've done is I've learned, myself, and I want to go on one of the courses with Jason when we're over in the States, and to learn a lot more stuff. I mean, it's amazing. But I mean, I said to the guy, I mean, I can help you improve what you're doing. I'm by far not the best there is out there by any means. There's plenty of other guys out there far, far superior than me. It's just not my main forte anymore, because my main forte is the leather side. It's, the detailing's taken a back burner. But once you do it, you never sort of get it out of your blood. That's the thing. And I helped the guy. And when he came down, I said, I hope you've learned something. And he's like, you have no idea how much I've learned today. He said, with the different machines you've showed me that you've got here, he said, it's unbelievable with this array of Rupes machines that you've got. He said, it's unbelievable. He said, these are just like Rolls Royces, he said, compared to some of these things I'm using.
Yeah.
And it's just, it was a day of my time, so what?
It didn't cost you that much.
No,
not
at all. Because I mean, I planned on being in the office that day anyway. So it's like I was out on the road and I was cancelling work, or I was losing money because I wasn't earning.
Yeah.
I planned on being in the office for that particular day anyway, because I'd only just got back from America a few days after coming back from MTE. So I hadn't planned going anywhere because we were doing catch up with the office anyway. So it was perfect.
Oh yeah.
It was absolutely perfect. I mean, he was very, he was grateful, and that's what it's all about.
Exactly. And helping him along, I think that does something with you as the helpee. Because you obviously feel a lot better. You gain a friend or a sparring partner. In the end, there's only positivity with helping people, and that's again what the IDA is so particular about. Exactly. I love how on the meet and greets we get together and so, like, in some aspects we're competitors, the people that come on, but as soon as we're here, like, brand stuff goes out the window. We don't care about that. We just talk about what it is, what we do, try to help each other along. Like, oh, I did this way and that really worked. And okay, I can try that next time. And just a great community.
Yeah, exactly.
Like in general. So I really hope that now with COVID obviously going down.
Yeah, hopefully it'll pick up for you again with that side of it, with all the SVs and things. So
yes,
good.
yes.
So should be good, because it's, I mean, obviously it's shut down again, because we were meant to be coming over for the trade fair. I think we were meant to be flying back home this weekend.
Yeah.
Enough. Because of the trade fair that was there. We were supposed to be flying back home this weekend. Because it was last weekend, the trade fair, and we were going to be with Eric during the week. But obviously they cancelled it because of getting locked down again after we were there back in November, because you went into lockdown again. So it all got cancelled. So that's now been moved to September. So we're back in Norway in September. So yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, I'll see you then.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it'd be good to get back. So.
Yeah, we had a huge spike of COVID. I had it 3.5 weeks ago, and it knocked me off my feet completely.
Wow.
Fever for 2.5 days, and then just huge headache and whatnot. And I was out for, I think, 5 or 6 days.
Yeah, it's strange how it just suddenly keeps coming back, but they've sort of like just forgotten it all in the UK now, and everybody's doing normal things, and there's no laws about it anymore. All the laws that they put in place have been abolished, and that was it. Everybody can just do whatever they want.
Yeah.
It's surprising how many people are still wearing masks though.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that's nice, because here in Norway, there's they did the same thing, and then I think it took about 2-3 weeks, and like maybe you saw 1 in 10, 1 in 20 wearing a mask.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah. Yeah, still, there's a lot of people not wearing them, but there's still there's more than what I thought there would be actually wearing the mask. So yeah, it's quite interesting, really. Quite interesting. So how long have you been in the detailing industry?
Professionally, I started in 2016, but I started like as a hobbyist back in 12.
Okay.
So funny thing about that, I wanted to paint my car because I had a project car and it was low and it was really cool, at least back then.
Yep.
Maybe not now, but I stripped it. I stripped the old paint. I bought a really high-end paint gun. I bought the Ferrari F40 Gregorio silver metallic paint. I really wanted it like a deep dark gray. And obviously doing this in the garage, it doesn't help with how high-end equipment you got. And it was my first time really painting with a paint gun. It really looked bad. So I go back to the paint shop, and the guy says, well, you obviously have to sand it and polish it to make it look good. I was like, okay. So I ended up buying equipment from him. So that's where I bought my first polishing machine, which was the Flex VRG, like the forced action one.
Yeah.
And 3M compounds and 3M pads. And I went to town and I burned through the new paint and everything. Oh yeah, it was bad, but it was more fun detailing or polishing the car, machining it than it was painting it.
Cool.
So I thought, okay, cool. So, all right, I'm not going to paint anymore because that wasn't fun. This is fun. I'm going to start doing this. And then I started getting into the wax market, Swiss Wax and Wax Addict were amazing waxes. And then from there, the normal role, you do your family's cars and your friends' cars. And then after a while, I felt like, okay, I've got enough meat on my bones to start doing this. And there's people coming asking me about polishing their cars, which I've never met before. All right, let's make this into a business.
Hi.
And so 2016 came, and I did that. Went on my first Rupes seminar, bought my first Rupes machine back in 2016 too. Unfortunately, I sold the Flex VRG because I felt like that machine was way too hard to operate for a beginner without any experience. Thinking back on it, I wish I didn't, because now I've obviously got the Rupes Mille as a forced rotation option.
Yeah, good.
Oh yeah, but yeah, it was the first machine I ever got. So like a bit nostalgia there. So I wish I hadn't sold it, but I did. So that's where we're at.
Yeah. So yeah, just sort of lost that little bit of nostalgia there. But yeah, it got you going and it got you interested in it. So when you started, did you have like were you doing this mobile, or did you have like have you always been workshop based or working from
No.
the garage or something like that?
Well, I was always workshop based because we were living at a farm at the time, so I had the space to get cars in. But obviously, it was not a detailing workshop. It was a workshop where we fixed the machines for the farm equipment, pretty much. So very soon, the dusting became a problem and everything. So what I did was I built like a patio and I put up a tent.
Okay.
Because then I could control the dust better. At least, definitely. Yeah.
Yep.
Until summer came.
Uh-huh.
Tents in summers are no fun. So I've detailed in my underwear, which I don't say aloud very often, but I I have detailed in my
tent. Yeah.
Oh, sweat was running everywhere, and you didn't know what to do. But yeah, that's happened. So many of my customers then very quickly told me like, well, you can be here in the garage, which was then like a way better option than a tent. So I did that. So I packed up my equipment and I drove where I could.
Yep.
As with the like washing down, just a detail, like a detail wash. I've never done that. It's always been like a machine polish, and so on. But yeah, so mainly workshop based, but I drove out when I could, pretty much.
Okay. Do you do everything workshop based now, or do you still go out, or?
No, I'm just here. So in 2019, I obviously you're big on mental health.
Yep.
I went down really hard. So I went into the psych ward on in Kolnes. It's the hospital around this area. So I was out for a few weeks then, struggling with pretty much my thoughts, really. Ended up selling my equipment. My then girlfriend left me, so we've obviously been living together for a long time.
Sure.
So I moved to She, where I'm at now. And I had a job offer from a detailing studio here in She, which I jumped on. So I left my motorsport sales part job, and I came here, and then that didn't really work out because I didn't get a contract on the table, and what I was promised wasn't delivered.
Sure.
So stuck between a rock and a hard place, I found this locale, the studio where I'm at now, just by chance, really. Got that, bought new equipment from nothing, and just started from scratch again. But this time full time and not just part time.
Yep.
So in October 19 was like the first cars started coming out from here, and I had a huge help back then because I had fleet work from the Audi dealership. So they send new cars over for coating all the time, and Norway's really big on electrical cars. So the e-tron was very popular at the time. I did in the course of 6 months, I polished and coated about 80 of them. Wow. Which was huge for a startup company. Very profitable too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good way to get on your feet. So yeah, it was almost like I'm a great believer in things always happen for a reason, and it's maybe what's happened with yourself with the mental health and things, there was a reason why it happened, because you probably wouldn't have got the opportunity that you're now in.
Oh, not any chance. No.
It's surprising how things come along. It's amazing. So obviously, I noticed that when we were in Norway, the quantity of vehicles that were electric is quite staggering.
Oh yeah,
very staggering.
Because there's no tax on them, so they're essentially cheaper. It's cheaper to get a Tesla here than it is to buy a Golf, pretty much.
Yes,
it's
exactly. Yeah,
really weird, but that's how it is. And the amounts of Teslas, now the new Porsche Taycan,
yes.
the Audi e-trons, obviously, we've taken care of here is enormous.
Yeah. Yeah, because obviously there was the Mercedes we were in that was Norse Pros. So I mean, that was an electric one as well. So I mean, that was something different because it was quite unusual being electric as well. So yeah, quite good, and it's very good. But I mean, it's so many cars are so electric, but obviously the cost of living is very expensive in Norway. But obviously then the wages are very high as well. Pro ratas with it is some people sort of find that quite a bit of a shock. I mean, I was used to it, even though I'd never been to Norway. I was used to it because the guy Chris who goes out with our eldest daughter is his father's Norwegian anyway. So I mean, they've spent a lot of time in Norway, so we were sort of pre-warned about how just expect it to be expensive. So and it's somebody going there for the first time would probably get quite a shock. That you sort of get we got a pizza. Absolutely fantastic. It was the best pizza. I must admit, it was the best pizza I'd ever had in the world. And I think I spent on this pizza with Cameron and I, we just had one pizza and 2 pints of beer, because obviously the beers are slightly bigger than an English pint. And we had 2 pints of beer and this pizza, and I think it was something silly like £75. Which normally you can buy like a pint of beer and a pizza in England for probably about £15. So it was a huge difference. But I tell you what, I'll go and do it again, because it was the best pizza I've ever had in the world. It was phenomenal. It was honestly wow. And I would do it again because it was so fantastic. I wouldn't mind spending the money there. It was just brilliant. It was fantastic pizza. It really was out with this world.
That's weird though. The best pizza in the world in Norway, I would guess like the best pizza in the world you'd get in Italy. Like no questions asked.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, honestly, wow. I've never had a pizza that tasted so good like that, when it just, I don't know what it was. It just melted in your mouth and it just tasted so unbelievable.
Just a quick question. Was this in Oslo, down by the docks? No, down by the opera?
No, it was when we were going to Norse Pro, we stayed, I think it was Brennan or somewhere like that we stayed at.
Oh yeah.
And it was when we were going to actually Norse Pro where they are. And we were in a little town a few miles away. It was right by the railway station, and it was actually in the sort of railway station building.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely fantastic. Obviously you had the river and things running through. Where isn't there water in Norway? So everywhere you go, there's water. So it was quite funny. Yeah. I know, it's quite funny because when we were driving along after the show and going back to Norse Pro, it was quite funny because we're driving through the tunnels, and Eric was like, yeah, I think there's definitely water above us now. The sea's above us now. And then the next I see is a signpost, Sweden.
Yeah.
Really? He's like, yeah, Sweden's that way. I'm like, we're underwater. He said, yeah, it's that way. You just carry on going that way and you get to Sweden. I'm like, that's really weird. That's really weird. It was just, wow. And that was really bizarre. But it's like, it's just totally different world underground in the tunnels. It's like there's almost, it's weird.
Oh yeah, but we save a lot of time on doing the tunnels.
Yeah. The infrastructure that's in place underground there is just phenomenal. It really is amazing. I mean, because you could imagine going up and down every mountain, it would just be.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. So yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. So yeah, it was and I'll be going back and I'll be going back to that pizza shop again because that was bloody brilliant.
Well, I have to take you to a different place now too. It's we all have our favorites, I guess. Yeah.
But it's like all the food that we had was so fantastic in Norway. I don't know. It just seemed like everybody was like the best chef in the world ever. It was just the food everywhere was phenomenal.
Well, we do take a lot of pride in our the English word for it is lost to me. So the ingredients.
Ingredients
pretty much everything from Norway is screened through the food and health department.
Sure.
So a lot of very strict rules there, and it makes for some of the best ingredients in the world.
Yeah, but it's like Chris, who goes out with obviously our oldest daughter. He's very big into cooking. He loves cooking. So he's very, very passionate about his cooking, and again, it cooks great food. So I mean, it's obviously instilled into him with his father being Norwegian and stuff. It's quite good. I mean, it's like this weekend we had the 50th birthday party and things for Rachel. Torkel, who was Chris's father, and Rachel was obviously his mother. Torkel's father, unbeknown to everybody, came over, even though him and his wife are very, very poorly. They flew over from Norway just for the birthday party, for 4 or 5 hours birthday party, and then they're flying back again tomorrow.
Nice.
It was unbelievable. Total surprise for everybody when they walked in. I'm sure I recognize that lady, because he had a mask on because he's got a cold.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sure I recognize that lady, because I turned around and made a, and then I realized, I'm like, oh my God.
That's amazing though.
So amazing.
Oh yeah.
Again, it was brilliant. So it was good. But yeah, I mean, they're very passionate about the food, and that's what I found is, with Chris, he loves the food. So yeah, it's really good.
Oh yeah, I cook as therapy now.
Oh yeah, good.
That works because when you do detailing, usually you go from doing detailing as a hobby to doing detailing as work. So you lose your ability to have a hobby.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're stuck in the shop for, at least me, like alone here, I'm stuck in the shop for everything from 12 to 16 hours a day. Coming home and just like getting the paprika out, the rice, the chicken, the spices. Oh man, it's just, you go into a bubble, and it's
exactly. Yep.
And then afterwards you treat yourself, because obviously you eat it.
Exactly. Yeah, for me, therapy now is cycling and stuff like that. So yeah, I like exercise. So yeah, I that's my sort of therapy time. I think when I'm going through town, some people must think I'm mad because I'm talking to myself. Because I'm like cycling myself up all the time, and I'm getting myself going. If I sort of like, if I get somewhere and I've got real strong headwind, I'm like, come on, boy, you can do this. And I'm just like, I'm getting in that frame of mind, and I'm giving myself cheers and confidence, to keep going. And it's amazing how much it sort of does boost you up and get you through the day. When you're
definitely.
Because
I actually do that in the shop here. When like motivation's bad and you're tired, you go like, oh no, come on, no, this is going really well. You can do this. Just a little bit further. Yeah,
I do that when I'm got something with the leather side of it, and Carolyn will come around the corner, or the staff will come around the corner, like, who the hell are you talking to? I'm just talking to myself. You sure you're all right, Richard? Like, yeah, it was fine. It was like you were having a conversation. Yeah, I was having a conversation, but you're on your own. I was having a conversation with me, and they're like, we'll go back to the office. It's okay. So yeah, they go back to the office, but yeah, I do. I'll literally have a conversation with myself saying, you can do this. I know I can. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to do this. You are going to do this. And it just,
but it works though.
Yeah. Because it makes me refocus on what I'm doing, and it gets me into that frame of mind. And I then go back to it, and I suddenly think, it's like, oh, this is just falling apart. It's not going to work. And yes, this will work. You can make this work. And it just refocuses you, and it gets you sort of back into that frame of mind again to get through that work and get it done. And it does really help. It certainly helps me anyway, definitely.
Yeah.
So what do you find is the hardest part of being a detailer?
Knowing when to quit on a car.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. That's my first go-to question or answer for that question. Because you want to deliver the best result possible. But there's a huge difference between the customer that pays for it and the customer that doesn't pay for it. It's not in his budget. Maybe he doesn't care about the car being in pristine condition. He wants it to look decent. It's a family car, like kids are touching it everywhere. Maybe they're out helping dad wash it on a Sunday. Obviously it's gonna like scratch up again. But I think as long as I can like stop myself instead of doing like 10 hours more in that car, stop myself from doing just 2 hours more in that car. I'll be happy, I think.
Yeah, it's the same with it's knowing where to stop as well.
Yeah.
It's like with the leather side of it. I mean, it's as long as you're sensible with obviously the machine polishing side, you're not going to sort of like go too far and keep. I mean, you can keep pushing and pushing and burn through. But I mean, with the leather side, there's certain limitations as to where we can go to with that, and it's again, it's delivering that customer's expectation, and again, it's knowing where to stop. And I've done it many a times where Carolyn will come around the corner and my head will be in my hand. She's like, "You carried on going, didn't you?" And I'm like, "Yes." Now it's gone wrong, and she's like, "You do it all the time." I'm like, "But I wanted it perfect." She's like,
"Yeah,
it wasn't going to be, and you even told me it wasn't going to be, and you were like, I won't carry on." And like, she said, she said, "You'd gone quiet round here." I knew something had gone wrong, but you just want that perfection, and I still do it today, and it then goes wrong, and I got to start all over again, and it's like, damn it.
I think it's hardwired into you. Like literally, you can't not do it. 5 weeks ago, Porsche Taycan door panel. To replace the door panel, it's about 3,200 pounds, and for me to repair it, but it was a dog had chewed on it, like on the side, on the pocket for at the bottom of the door. I knew it wasn't going to get good.
Sure.
And still you tried. So I spent, I don't know how many hours redoing like a finished result, just to try to get it better. And it progressively gets better every time, 2%, 5%, 10% better. From where you originally started, but at some point you just have to stop, and it didn't turn out perfectly. Porsche was really happy with it, so I guess like as long as you meet your customer's expectation, that's good. But no, it's just hardwired into you, and you can't escape it.
No, you can't. No, definitely no. It is very, very difficult. So I mean, obviously with the day-to-day business, with running it, how do you cope? Because obviously if you're a one-man band, you're everything. You're the PR man, you're the financer, you're the banker, you're the detailer, you're everything, aren't you? So I mean, are you just on your own doing everything?
Well, no, actually, I brought in a guy with me in last year, I think February, March, but he doesn't detail. He can wash cars, but that's the end of it. He doesn't have the focus to sit there and machine polish. He doesn't know letter repair, doesn't know PPF or paint protection film. But he can help out with answering the phone, meeting customers, so that I'm not being disturbed like every second. Because when you get in the zone, you get these what you call them? Horses have them.
Yeah, blinkers.
Thank you. So you get that on, and you just go to town and do your job. And as soon as the phone rings, a message comes, an email comes, and you pop that up and you look at it, your focus is gone. So you have to restart again. So that's helped immensely. But aside from that, I do the accounting, I do the actual work, and it's hard. It's really hard to balance it. Usually accounting takes the most hit, because that's something I don't like to do. So obviously I'm gonna push that and push that and push that until it's either too late to do it, and you have to, or stuff gets like I forget to put in a receipt or something, and then I find a receipt like 2 weeks later, and it's over and done. Just bad. So we have to restructure. We have to restructure, because I think that's a part where many detailers go wrong. They want to do everything, and they're a one-man show, and they don't take into consideration how much help you can get from teaching someone else to do it for you, or paying a company to do it for you. It's expensive, but that time they're working on it, which you would have worked on it, you can do what you do best, and you can make that money instead.
Exactly. I mean, I think people sort of, even though it is expensive to sort of get other people to do other things, like with the accounting or whatever, but the thing is, it's not that expensive when you consider how much time you're spending doing it. You can probably earn more money than what you're spending.
Exactly.
quite easily. But it's just that initial thought of like, I've suddenly got to go from not paying somebody to now paying them, say, £500 a month or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've got to earn that £500, but you were earning it. And the thing is, you weren't earning it. That's the thing. But now you're farming that out, you are going to earn it, because it means you're going to get probably an extra car done with the amount of time. And it means you're going to get time with your family at home and stuff like that. And that sort of leads us into our next sort of question. How do you create that balance, at home, with working, which a lot of detailers do suffer with, because the minute they go home after doing the cars, the next thing they're onto is like, I've now got to deal with my social media. I've got to do all my invoices, got to do all this. I've got to do all that. And then the wife or the husband is like, you've just come home from work and you're starting to work again. I won't be long. I'll do this. And we all know what that's like. I mean, I've been there and done it. We know it's like, I won't be long. And before I know it, it's like, where's everybody gone? Christ, it's 11 o'clock. And like 11 o'clock at night, or it's 12 o'clock at night, and everybody's gone to bed, and it's like, yeah, I'm in the doghouse again.
So like right before Christmas last year, I stopped doing the social media stuff.
Yep.
Which is really bad, because that's your marketing channel out.
Sure.
And I get that. But when I get home, then I do what I have to do here in the shop. I do the cars, I do the accounting, I do answer the emails, and I go home and I do this with my phone, and it's gone.
Yep.
And I don't care anymore. I don't, I'm not on Facebook that much anymore. Not on Instagram, not on TikTok, Twitter. Just leave that in the dust, and obviously it's not good, but it's better than me having to worry about it all the time.
Sure.
And then when I get home, I make it, or we make dinner, because me and my girlfriend, and then we sit down and we put on something, a show or a movie or something, and we eat dinner and talk about our day, and that's it.
Yep.
But it's a really hard balance, and I've been really lucky. I found a girl that works probably, if not more than me, at least the same as me, and prioritizes work at the same rate as me. So she knows that if I'm stuck here, I said I'd be home at 8, and we'd have dinner, and I'm stuck here until 10:30. She'll start making the dinner as soon as I send a message that I'm getting out of the shop.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
It's just having that understanding, isn't it? I mean, it's a lot of people sort of make that sort of fatal mistake, but it's trying to get that work-life balance right is very, very difficult. Because I mean, obviously, especially when you've got kids involved, it's not just your partner you're affecting. It's the kids as well, and it's amazing how much that sort of sets in their brain for the rest of their life, especially when they're young, because that's when they're absorbing everything and they're learning about life, and that's when it becomes very, very difficult, and it's a lot of people sort of forget that, and it is so easy to sort of get so engrossed in what you're doing with the detailing side and sort of forget all about it. It's just getting that work-life balance there, and it is. I've noticed a lot of people are sort of coming off social media, and I'm a great advocate in believing that you've got to have a very good website to get that, and obviously to get word of mouth, and to have a good website to drive the traffic rather than use social media. I mean, to me, social media, I think, the internet's been a wonderful thing that's been born, but I think social media is probably one of the worst things that's been born, because I think there's a lot of bad that isn't policed by these companies that they should police, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, which they are trying to get right. And obviously, a lot of them have been penalized over the last especially the last few years. And hopefully things will get better, but it's so easy for somebody to sit there and type away and not think about what they're saying.
Yeah.
How they might think, oh, that was a smart move I made there. Not thinking that they've been horrible to somebody. A person can take that in such a negative way. It's unbelievable. It literally is unbelievable. And I've spoken to people where that has happened to their friends, and they've actually gone out and killed themselves because they thought that was it. The world hated me.
Yeah.
Because one person did something, that wasn't intentional. And it's silly comments, and it's just, but they were literally on the edge.
Mm.
You know,
And that little thing is what needed to push them. Yeah. So exactly. And there's behind the screen, there are no consequences, right?
Exactly. Yep.
So yeah. No, I have a friend as well that killed himself a few years ago. Same thing.
Yep.
Exactly same thing. And it was a stupid comment.
Yep.
And we all saw it. It was on his page. And then, yeah. But I guess from a detailer's point of view, like everything, because we have good days and we have bad days, and sometimes you get a bad review, or someone smack talks your work in some way, even someone that doesn't have to do anything with your work smack talks your work, and it's a personal attack on you, because yeah. So just remember that it's not a personal attack on you. It's actually just a comment. And you either explain yourself around it, or you just leave it be.
It's like I've always said to customers as well. It's, and we sort of use that within the leather business. I've always said to customers, just go easy on, when we've sort of like, people have inquired about detailers, I'm just like, just go easy on the detailers that we have, because they're a bit like artists. They're very, very focused on what they do, and they're very touchy, so far as, because they're very passionate about that. They're so passionate about what they do, and I sort of regard detailers as almost being like artists.
Yeah,
they are very, very passionate about their creations, because they are creating something that, you know, and they're sort of bringing this thing alive almost, and you get so focused in on it. You know, I mean, I've done cars myself where I've literally finished them and the customers just stood there absolutely speechless, and I've burst into tears because I've realized I've got it right. You know, just, and that is just wow. And the customer look at me and they're like, "Why are you crying?" I'm like, "I'm crying of joy, because I can just tell how happy you are, because you've not said a word." And they're like, "We just don't know where to begin."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Is that good or bad though?" And they're like, "Oh, this is good." And I'm like, "Wow, that's good." So maybe the crying was a bit like, you know, of excitement and a bit of fear. And they're like, "But honestly, we just don't know where to begin. We just never knew it could look like that." You know, that's what you want. And it's, you are like an artist, because you are creating this masterpiece, you know, and it's a priceless masterpiece, because I think if we actually charged probably for the amount of time that we do spend on them, realistically,
we'd be rich.
We'd be the customer would even have the car. That would be extremely, you know, because I mean, it's like I've done cars and I've sort of said, "Oh yeah, it's £1,000 to do this car." And before I know it, I'm 2 weeks in and I'm thinking, "Why am I still working on this car for £1,000? But you do, because you get so engrossed into it, because you want it right, you know. And it's, and that takes us back to that question earlier about it's knowing when to stop. So, but it's, you do get it. It is so easy to sort of get so engrossed in something and see something. I mean, it affected me years ago, you know, on social media when it sort of all first began, and various things that were going on with different people, and you know, it sort of got to the point where I was literally ready to end my life with it, and then something happened and I snapped out of it, and I was literally doing it that one night, and it just literally, and that was like, oh, I don't know, bloody hell, whenever social media began, so quite some years ago. But I was, and I'd only been on it for a few months, and it just, I don't know, it's just everybody just attacked us, you know, and it's just, and it's like, why? And we had all sorts of things, you know, like messages coming through, and they just, everybody just sort of like started to bully and pick, and they don't realize how they're just gnawing away at you internally. They have no idea whatsoever about, you know, what that does. And I was literally ready to kill myself that night. And then something happened, and it was like 12 o'clock at night. I was at the factory, and I'd even gone to like sleeping on the factory floor on a concrete floor. I wouldn't even come home, because as soon as I came home, because I was so tired and worn out, I was so snappy, I would shout at the girls, I'd shout at Carolyn, and I'm like, this is just no good. So I just started sleeping at the factory thinking, let's just sort of do it this way and hope it recovers. And then I just snapped out of it, literally just one night. Next morning, it was almost like it never happened. But I do still see things now, and I'm thinking, why are they saying that about me? What have I done? Carolyn's like, they're not, just read it again. You know, it's just the way I've read it in that context. And it's not the context that it's actually been written in. And I'm just like, but it does say it that way. She's like, yeah, it does say that, but that's not obviously what it's meaning. Read the rest of the conversation.
Yeah.
And you have to literally go back and read everything again. It's like, right, okay, I get it now. And they're like, she's like, just read it before you know.
Yeah.
You're dyslexic, it doesn't help. So dyslexic, so it makes it very, very difficult. So I can sort of read things that aren't even there. And she's like, it doesn't even say that. I'm like, it does. She's like, no, it doesn't. And then she read it out to me as well, you know, so it sort of really helps. But you know, it's not easy. But then, you know, because I'm dyslexic, that's where it all sort of began many years ago on social media. They were picking on like spelling and grammar and stuff because I'm absolutely terrible with it. So that's what they sort of started picking and gnawing on. And I'm thinking, it's just not worth it. I obviously can't read, I can't write, I can't spell, I can't do nothing. But I was very passionate with my job.
Yeah.
You know, and so obviously people that are dyslexic excel in other ways, you know, and that's how we work. And I'm not forever frightened to admit I'm dyslexic. I mean, it's not a or anything. It's just, yes, it is an illness, but it's not like a disability, so to speak. But you are disabled, sort of thing, because you can't do things that somebody else can do. So you sort of, you're not, but you are, and it's really weird to explain it. It's very, very strange because I can sort of look at something and Cameron will be like, that sounds good, but it actually didn't say that.
Yeah, so we actually, it's a new thing in Norway where car care is becoming its own technical subject in school. So we'll have people with a diploma for finishing school as a detailer.
Yeah, that's good.
Which is a huge thing. It's great, but I'm making the theoretical exams along with 2 others for that subject.
Yeah.
Through the learning department or school department, and we had to sit down and we had to take this into consideration.
Sure.
That we're doing the theoretical exams and it's a written exam. How do you now implement that to make the people that are dyslexic or that are not strong with words or not still pass it, still be able to show off their skills written on paper without really having the words to do so.
Sure.
So huge thing there. And I think we structured, because obviously I can't talk about the exam questions, but I think we structured it well enough to be able to do that.
Excellent.
So with actually a lot of help from the IDA, how the IDA CD exams are structured. Yeah. So I took what I knew there, and we sort of did this thing with the exams here in Norway. So I think we made it happen. The first exam is now in June, or in April actually. Right. So it's going to be. We have 106 applicants. It's going to be fun to see what it does, how it's going to work out.
Yeah, that's going to be good. Yeah. Definitely. So tell us, what's the favorite car you've ever worked
on? So weirdly enough, it's nothing special. It's 1982 BMW 518 in like Alpine Weiss.
All right. Okay. Yep.
And the reason why it's my favorite car is because I started pulling my hair doing it. So it's washed with diesel its entire life.
Wow.
One owner on the car. It's washed with diesel its entire life, and I've spent so many hours trying to get the paint right, like the finish right, but the paint's acting weird. So it's my fiber pads are sticking to it. My foam pads are not finishing it. So in the end, we did like the softest pads and with just water to finish it off, and it created so much frustration. But looking back on it now, it's probably one of the cars that I learned the most from doing. And that's why it's my favorite car. It's just, it's weird because it's still not the best car I've done. It's nothing special. It's neither a Lamborghini or a Bugatti or anything like that, but the paint was just weird, and it created all this frustration. That's why it's my favorite. It's weird.
It's amazing how many people sort of, when you sort of ask them those sort of questions, you're sort of expecting to hear like Bugattis or Ferrari, Lamborghinis or whatever, but no, they're actually just normal cars, because it's something unique about the particular vehicle that they've done, like that one there with you, that's made them remember it, and that's made it sort of a unique vehicle for them, which is really interesting. So, because I mean, it's very rare anybody ever says, oh, I did a Ferrari, or I did this, or I did that. And it's strange. It's like, I mean, of all the years that we've sort of done work, I think, we've done some amazing cars, with Enzos and everything, and Bugattis and, old fashioned Bugattis and classic cars. But I think the most favorite one I ever did was like a Lexus, the SC430. Or coupe one, and I still remember it now. And it was in this beautiful, stunning red color. And every time, and we didn't have a coating on it. It was hand waxed. Every time we waxed it, it just shone differently in different areas every single time. And we did it for years.
Nice. Yeah.
And it just, I don't know. It's just, I still love it now, even though I can still visualize the car now. And there's a picture of me somewhere. I saw it not so long back, of me knelt down beside the car with like a bottle of polish in my hand, almost kissing the car and the bottle of polish, because the car just sort of like fell in love with this car. It was just, I don't know, and you could just see this perfect reflection of me in the side of it. It was just like it had like liquid glass on it. It was, and there was just something about the paint and something about the car. And it was just, every time there was these different lines and shadows that appeared. And we did this car for years, and we detailed it every single week. And every week Cameron was like, it can't be the best this week, because you said that last week. You said this every week for the last 2 years, Richard. I'm like, there's just something about it today. It's like, you said that last week. I'm like, I know, but there's something different about it today. And it was just, I don't know, it was really weird.
Yeah.
And I can still visualize the car now outside the customer's house. And I mean, we haven't done that car now for, and I mean, I don't think Barbara will have it now, but I mean, we haven't done that car for probably 7 years, eight, probably 9 years. And it's just,
but it's still stuck.
It's still stuck in my head out of all the cars I've ever done. And I have because I got the chance to drive the Ferraris and things, the Enzos and things. So they've obviously stuck, but out of all the vehicles, I think that one Lexus has definitely been, I know I've detailed some amazing vehicles, but that's just the one I can really remember.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just something about it. It was just, I don't know. It's just the lines of the car. They're weird. They just shone differently every single week.
That's part of the passion, though. That's part of the drive that kicks off when you start. And I mean, of course, there's a Ferrari California inside now in the shop. There's a Taycan. There's a Shelby GT500, and there's a Supra MK5, and still that BMW. It's stuck. It's stuck.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? How one thing can just sort of stick like that. It's weird.
Yeah,
it's definitely weird. So, I mean, obviously, training wise, how important do you think it is for a detailer to have, because we don't know everything, we never will know everything. And if somebody says they know everything, in my opinion, they're a complete liar. We learn every single day. Like I was explaining to you off air about certain things I learned with the guys that we had for training, which I was just blown away with. And I'm, like I said to you, I was like, do you mind me asking questions? And they were like, no, ask. And I learned so much about their religion, which was absolutely brilliant. But I mean, how important do you think training is for somebody that's a detailer, even at the top of their game? Do you think that they can still learn something from somebody?
On a scale from 0 to 10, I don't care where you're at in your career, it's 10 out of 10. Training every time, as if you can make a training, and I don't care if it's a beginner's course.
Exactly.
I doesn't matter which subject it's about. Doesn't really matter if it's leather repair or PPF installation, or you'll pick up something. I used to tell this on because I'm a Rupus trainer, and I'm also doing the courses here at Insanity. And I say that you can if you can pick up 1% off a YouTube video.
Yes.
Imagine what you can pick up going to a training. Exactly. Where there's someone literally explaining what they're doing and showing you what they're doing and guiding your hands and talking about the subject. So I've been at a few trainings, obviously, then. And I've also been at stuff that's not really a detailing thing. I've been to seminars where paint producers talk.
Sure. Yeah. Yep.
Because then you learn what the paint's about, what makes a specific color do a specific thing. Exactly. I tried to crack why some colors are softer or feel softer than others. Yep. When the clear coat's the same.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, it's the same brand, it's the same model, it's the same batch of cars. It's just this car finishes off differently than this car.
Yeah.
So and then obviously the detail training. And how they do it differently in the UK and Germany and Poland and Norway.
Yep.
And you can pick up every small thing here and there and just keep on doing it. And as you say, you've never finished learning anything.
No, never.
I don't care how good you are.
Yep. No, I don't either. It's like, I mean, I started when I was quite young. I'm 53 now. So, I mean, my first trip to America was when I was 14. I literally left school with no education. School, couldn't stand school, left school with no education, went to America when I was 14, and learned everything that I could sort of possibly learn in America with all Maguire's products. And it's like now I still want to go and learn with Jason Rose, or other guys that are sort of like up there, and it's just I want to go and do it, even though it's not a passion, it's a passion of mine now rather than a business, is the detailing side. I still want to go and do it. And Kevin, why do you want to go and do it? I'm like, I don't know. I just want to go and do it.
Yeah.
Because I still want to learn it. I still want to be able to tell people how to do it, because I love the industry and I don't know. It's just something, it's weird. Once you've been a detailer, it's really strange. You're hooked and you can't. And she's like, why are you buying more equipment? You don't even detail cars. It must have been 6 months ago, last time you had a car. And I'm like, I know. Then why do you need another machine? I'm like, I just want that machine. She's like, but what are you going to use it on? I don't know. I just want to have the machine. She's like, but why? And I'm like, but I'll practice on a hood or something. Right? Okay, I understand that. But I'll practice with it.
Yeah.
But will you have time to practice? That's the thing. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. It's really weird. It is a bug.
Oh, yeah.
It is definitely a bug, definitely. So, I mean, profit obviously is quite an important part of someone's business. And I mean, if someone sort of says, they're not in it for the money, again, we're all in business to make money at the end of the day. And profit is very, very important. I mean, a lot of the time, I think it was Rennie Doyle that mentioned this to the other day on a podcast, somebody that says I think it was with the Marcy Tran ones that they were doing, which I was listening to those with Marcy. And I think it's like Rennie said, if someone that says they're not in it for the money, it's because they're not making any money, because they're trying to hide because their business is failing. So, at the end of the day, we wouldn't be in business if we're not making money. No. And I think it's very, very important that people need to understand how crucial it is that bottom line is to the success of the business and controlling those costs, isn't it?
Yeah, well, in every industry, I don't care if it's clothes or food or production, the bottom line is everything, because you obviously need it to stay afloat.
Exactly.
But profit wise will take a hit.
Yep.
If it's more important for me to deliver a result that I've envisioned. Yep. So I don't care if it took me 10 hours more.
Yep.
I'll do that work pro bono for 10 hours more.
Sure.
And then customer satisfaction.
Yes.
Because I get a car in, and for me, it's all about having the paint done properly.
Yeah.
So I'll work longer to take out the scratches in it and to make the clarity pop. but the customer is maybe more fixated on having his interior cleaned, or even his exhaust tips shined.
Yeah,
that's a bigger issue for him.
Yeah,
because he doesn't see these small scratches really on his paint, but he sees that the tip is dirty, and
exactly.
and the interior's not mint. And even though we've booked the car in for an exterior detail, if I see that the customer is like placing his interior a little bit higher, we'll probably do that pro bono as well. Yes. Or obviously I'll try to sell it in the beginning, but sometimes you don't figure this stuff out before you've had a few conversations with the customer. So I'd say profits are coming at a solid third place, because you need them all the time. You need to stay afloat. And we took a hit last year because the company went bankrupt, and we're owed money by a few customers. So and it's not a small amount for me. It's £42,000.
Wow.
No, it's not. Sorry, it's 42,000 Norwegian. No, I'm stuck doing the
maths conversions.
It's 415,700 something Norwegian crowns. So obviously profit wise, that's a huge impact on us, and it makes us not realize the stuff we want to realize in a given amount of time. And I have to pay off the rent on the shop. I have to get products to stay afloat. We have to buy PPF to stay afloat. Equipment breaks down, you have to have money to fix that. Your pay, and then having something in reserve to be able to jump on new stuff when that stuff comes out. You have to have some buffers out there, and that makes profits such a big thing of any shop. I mean, if I had all the millions in the world and I could do whatever I want to do, I'd still probably detail. And then I could do it pro bono, everything. Like, oh, you want your car done? All right, I do a car, and I'll just do that car for free. But that's not how it is, right? No, so you have to stay afloat. Profits are such a big thing of any shop. So and I think detailers are, as you said, they're artists. They really think about the cars more than they do anything else. And where you'd probably spend more time going to a detailing training, maybe you should have been on an accounting seminar instead. Maybe you should go to a TED talk, or listen to a TED talk about profits instead. Because you're good at the polishing stuff. You're good at the paint. You're good at protection, and you. If you're bad at the profits, you're never gonna make it work.
No, exactly. No, it's amazing how many. It's like through COVID, it's amazing how many detailers didn't have what we call a rainy day fund. And then of course, when the government was giving everybody any money, they were like, we can't get any money. This country sucks. And everybody's like, but you're always turning cars out. Yeah, well, I'm always getting paid cash. You're pocketing the cash. Well, what am I supposed to do? Well, you should have put some through your business, because now you need the help, you can't get it. And that was where a lot of detailers sort of fell foul to that, and a lot of valeters as well, that sort of what I call valeters as well, they sort of fell foul to that because they hadn't declared everything. They lived to the means with the cash that they were given, so they would live to the lifestyle, and that's where a lot of them hurt, and it's very important to have that contingency fund there in case things go wrong, because you could get your vacuum go wrong, your lift could go wrong, your machine polishers go wrong, all in 1 week. You can't ever plan and say, oh, this week I want the machine polisher to go wrong, another month's time the lift can go wrong. It never happens like that, because normally
Murphy's rule.
The whole bloody lot's going to go in one go, and that you're talking in you're into hundreds of thousands of knockers to get that sorted. And you're in Norway, or thousands of pounds in England, or whatever it is. It's all going to cost a lot of money, no matter where you are in the world, to get that sorted. And it's amazing how many detailers don't have that fund from their profits to put money away for their retirement or anything. It's just unbelievable because they just think, yeah, I'll get there when I get there. And it's like, you need to start thinking now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, right now, because you're not getting younger. And the thing is, you've only got to turn one day. You're stood on maybe a platform doing the roof of a vehicle. You've only got to turn one day and twist so funny and ruin your back. You're out of action for the rest of your life. You've got no contingency plan. You've got no fund, nothing to fall back on. What are you going to do? Because all of a sudden, the person that earned the money is out of action.
Yeah, but we're back at the thing where get your accountant to do your accounting.
Exactly.
And I had COVID just recently, and I was stuck not doing cars. I was out, and obviously you can move some customers around, shift your calendar around.
Yep.
But unless you have anything built up, the government's not going to pay me like sick leave for being out for 5 days.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's the same. I think same in England, like with a lot of insurances. You've got to be ill for so many days before insurance will kick in. Before they kick in, with like sort of medical or health insurances, or work insurances, where if you're out of action for so many days, that then kicks in. But by then, it's like my business is struggling by then, and can I get the money? No. You've got to be ill for at least 3 days before your insurance can kick in. Well, do I get it for those 3 days? No, that's like your probationary period. You then get it from your 4th day onwards. And
so in Norway, it's 16 days.
Yeah.
So you have to, and at 16 days, it's half a month.
Yeah, exactly. Of course it is.
You have to have and then you have to have a buffer for stuff that happened to us. Now, we had a company go bankrupt because they didn't have enough money to pay off the state for taxes and whatnot. So the state declared them bankrupt.
Yeah, wow.
And when the state declares them bankrupt, they took what money was left in the company.
Yeah,
so meaning that what we did for work, and we sanded down 2 Mustangs for them.
Yep.
So 248,000 crowns in which we'll never see, we'll never get.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're bankrupt, there's nothing to take from, and you have to be able to take a hit like that.
Yeah.
And still stay afloat, and it's a lot for me. It's a lot of money. For my company, it's a lot of money. So I've pulled my hair out the last 3 months trying to figure out how I'll get this huge loss from last year, because that was obviously just one customer. This huge loss from last year, and earn it again. And it's not then you can't just earn 400,000 because you lost 400,000. That's not how it works.
No, exactly.
So you have to obviously I have some background in security, and if someone steals a bottle of Coke from a store, that store has to sell that same bottle of Coke 7 times to get back the one before they can start making a profit again.
Exactly.
So same thing here. Make the math, do the math, and then say that I have to earn 400,000 8 times, 10 times, 12 times before I've broken even and started moving on. So it's a lot of money, and you have to have a buffer. You have to have a good stream of customer, and profits are a huge thing of your business. That's just how it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. So we always ask like a closing question. It's been actually fantastic, to be fair. Because we've not really sort of asked a lot of the questions that I sent you, but we've actually,
I know.
we've done everything. It's been brilliant. So I've really enjoyed it. It's been an absolutely fantastic podcast. There's one question we always ask people when we close. What would you do differently if you were starting out from fresh that you didn't know when you first started? It's a tough one, isn't it?
It is. But I've actually just went through this in my mind, and it's get people that are good at stuff, because you're not the best at everything.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
And then employ them and build it up together.
Yes.
Because doing a one-man thing will only take you so far.
Yep.
So that just spilled some of the future plans for insanity, but let's leave that at that. It's literally just because obviously you want to have control on everything, and it's your business, but learn to release that control over to other parties and build it up together instead of doing a one-man thing. I think that's like my most learned lesson.
Yeah.
So, or my biggest lesson, actually. Yeah.
It's like I've always said to a lot of people, and I mean, a lot of very successful people, you sort of use this. It's better to have 10% of something than 100% of nothing.
Yeah. Oh,
so,
yeah.
If you can get other people on board with your business, even though it may be your brainchild, but if you can get other people on board with your business that are maybe key investors or key people, and there's a lot of detailers out there that can do this, support them, work with them and run their business. Yes, they may be farming out 50% of the business to somebody else, but the thing is, I'd rather have 50% of a lot than 100% of nothing. And that I think is key. It's the same principle. It's getting those people on board with your business, getting the right funding, getting the right people employed. And that's the thing that we didn't do with LRC at the beginning. We didn't do that. We believed we could do everything. And it's taken us a lot of years to get to where we are now, which we should have done a lot quicker if we'd have just got the people in at the beginning. But it's a bit like, I don't know, the company's a bit like my third child. It's letting go is very, very difficult. And I think you've got to learn to let go and let other people do it. And we're sort of letting more and more things go now and sort of relinquishing more and more things to people so I can focus on more and more things to do with running the business. And sort of letting other things sort of go to other people and employing more people ourselves. And I think that's very, very important that people do understand that you can't do everything. And yes, it might be your brainchild, but getting the staff in and looking after them is very, very important, or getting an investor in and doing the same. But it's very crucial that you do look after the staff. And I think that is a key where a lot of people do make a mistake from the beginning. They have fantastic businesses and they flop within the first 5 years because they didn't get those right people in from the beginning.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. So I've really enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed it as well.
Oh, most definitely. So I hope you'll have me back, actually.
we will get people back as well. So I mean, we'll eventually get people back in again. So tell us, how does, obviously I know you said about social media and things, you're not really doing it, but how do people find you? Do you have a website? Is that your sort of preferred thing? Do people still contact you through social media?
Oh, yes, they do. So we're Insanity Detailing on Facebook, and we're Insanity Detailing at Instagram. And I do answer messages. I just don't post stuff.
Sure.
Obviously, contact@insti.no is the email address, and then insanitydetailing.com is the website. But feel free to reach out to me wherever you find me, really. So again, with the social media, I don't really really pay much attention to it, but I will still do my best to answer, and then hopefully it won't pass like a month and a half before I return your messages again, because that happened.
That's all right. I even forgot I'd sent in the original ones until I sent another one, and then I totally forgot I'd sent the original ones. To be fair. I mean, I get it. People send me messages, and then I'll be flicking through something one day, and I'm like, Christ, I never replied to them because I've got so busy with doing something, and I read it and I just forget. Yeah, it does happen, and it's just, but it can. I mean, and I don't think people quite realize sort of how busy you can get with something sometimes, because obviously their focus is, they want help there and then, and they're the sort of only customer, which you can understand, but it is easy to forget it, I must admit, with social media, because I get, the thing is with me as well, I mean, people are sometimes quite amazed. I manage 25 Twitter accounts. I manage 25 Facebook business pages. We have 20 different Instagram accounts, obviously for all the franchises and things like that around the world. And we manage nearly all of those with a lot of things, and we're on them all the time with various business brands and everything else. So it's a lot to manage, and it's so easy to forget.
So I actually have a question about it. Do you have someone to manage your accounts for you? Because I mean, if I had 20 Twitter accounts, I would have gone into bed and I wouldn't have come out again. I would just have,
No, we do. We literally do everything in house.
Oh man, that's really impressive.
We literally do everything in house.
Wow.
I mean, there's a friend of mine that does this for a living, and he always says, I don't know how you do it, Richard.
Yeah,
I don't know how you do it. He said, it's like you're never, ever off it. He said, it drives me mad, just my own. And I mean, he does social media for a living. And he's like,
I second that.
And he's like, how you manage it? He said, honestly, he said, you need to come and work for me one day. He said, teach me how you do it. I'm like, no, just do it. It's good. I just got into that rhythm and I just do it. I don't know. It's weird. Yeah,
I hands down, I could not. I would have freaked out a long time ago.
Just do it. And it's just comment, reply to people, post, and it's not always me posting on all the Instagram and Facebook pages. It could be other people in the office, but we are there a lot of the time doing stuff as well. So it's weird, but there we go. So it's been great. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
So there you go, everybody. That was Faruk, and I've forgotten to pronounce your second name again, so I'm not going to say it. In Sanity Detailing in Norway. He is the IDA president of the Norwegian chapter, and I have met him, and he is an absolute gentleman, and it's been a pleasure having you on board again today with Totally Detailed, Faruk. Thank you very much, and I will see you in September if I don't see you before as well.
Oh, yes, please. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. Thank you very much.